Here we are. We're gonna do the stories and shit. All right, let's go. Bella, your story.
I don't like this. Well, you were there.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, you were, because we were walking, and
I stayed away. I didn't see anything that happened. So come on.
yeah, but Haley.
Just tell me the story.
Okay, so pretend you weren't there.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna add the part where you did nothing.
Okay.
So pretty much we were going for a walk, and then Haley and Dee Dee wanted to go down to the river, and we had saw. I don't want to use their names, so
Replace the names with something else.
we'll call these.
We'll call guy. We'll call guy 1. We're gonna call him guy 1, guy 2, guy 3. How many people were there?
God. I think like 4 or 5.
We're basing them off of numbers. All right, go.
Alright, so, basically we saw the group of guys, and then, well, we kind of, like, just went down to the, like, river, like, we were waiting, because we wanted to make sure it was okay with my mom, so we were waiting for her to text back, and in the meantime, the group of guys decided that they wanted to go down to the river. We thought they went the other way, and so that's when we started walking down to the river. When we got there, we were going to go to the farthest spot so that we weren't near this group of guys when we found out that that's where they were. And they had accused us of stalking them, and then I basically got into this whole yelling fit because I used to like one of the guys, and it basically just had them saying that they were, like, I was stalking them, and that basically they were accusing me of stalking their friend because I liked him, used to like him. What they didn't know was I didn't like him at that point in time because he kind of turned into a fuckboy. So, meanwhile, while all that yelling is going on, you've got one of the people in the trailer. You know the trailer. It's like right up at the dock. So you've got him. I guess he was listening and stuff. So then what had happened was one of the kids, Guy 2, so Guy 2 had a hatchet, and he decided to hold it up to me, and he had told me that basically he didn't want me there. So then I picked up a stick because I didn't carry anything because I don't like knives or any weapons because I'm scared of them. So I picked up a stick, and he had started walking closer to me, and he asked me, I have a hatchet, you have a stick, who will win? And as he's saying that, he's still walking towards me. So natural, like, scared mechanism for me is to, like, hit the person. So I swung the stick. As soon as the stick had intersected with this kid, the other kid had then somehow gotten behind me, and he had put me in a headlock. As that was happening, my 2 friends, one was with you up towards the benches, and I don't know, was she trying to get a hold of somebody at that point down when he cut the nails off?
She was also asking me what to do. Now, at this point in time, while she was asking me what to do, I was sitting down in the weeds because I didn't want to get involved, because if I did, I would have gone to jail for either murder or assault.
Don't lie, you were scared.
No, I had a knife. I wasn't going to be afraid.
So, no, basically, and then the other girl that was with me, magical Batman.
Yeah,
Batman.
That thing.
She kind of just stood there, and as he's putting me in the headlock, I didn't know what else to do, and then my knees locked, and I couldn't move, and when I tried to move my legs, I kind of just crashed, and so then I was on the ground, and he was holding tighter, and as I was struggling to stand back up, he kind of, like, started choking me, and Meanwhile, I still had the stick in my hand because it broke and shattered, so I still was holding on to a small part. So I was kind of like stabbing him with it, trying to get him off of me. And this was like in his like stomach area. So then one of my friends, she got him off, and I guess the other girl got a hold of the cops.
Yeah.
And it took them forever to get back. They hid the hatchet because the cop checked and couldn't find the hatchet. Before the cop got there,
Yeah, keep going.
before the cop got there, we had saw one of the kids walking away with two girls that had appeared at some point saying that we shouldn't have started anything when it wasn't us that started anything, and we tried to explain that to them. So, I mean, obviously the girls knew them and stuff, and they were, like, on their side. So, basically, pretty much, like, they walked away, and me and my friend thought that they took the hatchet with them when they walked away. So, we were kind of screwed anyway. And so, while they walked away, like, we were over at my friend's house, and he was just, like, really, like, worried, because, like, we were all freaking out. I was throwing up. We were, like, bawling. I was probably, I don't know why, but I was, like, probably the calmest there, even though I should have probably been the most worried. I mean, minus the vomiting, I was probably the most calm with the, like, crying and stuff. So pretty much, like, when the cop got there, we actually had them do a drug test because we knew these kids did drugs, and
No, I don't think they ever did the test.
no, I don't think so either. But we knew these kids did drugs and stuff, so my mom had asked if they could do the drug test, because my mom would walk down to the house that we were at. Basically, like, we waited for, like, 30 minutes for the cop to get there. I don't know why it took so long, but, I mean, I guess it wasn't, like, a major situation. But, so we were waiting for, like, God knows how long.
15 minutes. 10-15 minutes.
That's not what it felt like.
It was 10-15 minutes.
It felt like an
And
hour.
continue.
So they couldn't find the hatchet or anything else, and because of the fact that the one kid that put me in the headlock, he had marks on him from me trying to get him off, they could not, basically, they had no proof of them doing that or starting anything, and that all they have is my word, so they couldn't press charges. And now I've got a whole lot of more stuff going on with these kids, and
Kids that don't even contact you anymore.
I don't even, like, I've told them I don't talk to anybody here, and they're accusing me not anymore. The only people that I talk to are the kids that go to Dauphin County Technical School because they're on the bus with me. But I don't talk to anybody. Like, I stopped talking to all the high schoolers there after Anna.
You still talk to me.
Okay, there's a difference there.
Alright, finish your story and shit. Is that all?
Basically, don't go walking with pussies.
But the moral of the story is...
Moral of the story, don't walk with Theo. Don't go walking with Theo.
The moral of her story is don't get into trouble with people that you don't really understand or like. And don't try to talk to them at all. If they're going somewhere and you want to avoid them, go the opposite direction. That's all I can really say.
Huh.
So I waited a day before I did my part of this video. My story and shit is... Back when I was still in cyber schooling, around 6th grade, yeah. I started dating. And... that turned out to be a bad thing to do because people would step on me and shit. I was being used for everything, and people would push me around, bully me, tell me a bunch of shit that wasn't true, and I didn't know it at the time. And I got extremely emotional over it. I used to beat myself up physically. And every scab that I had, I'd pick open when I got upset. And another thing, people used to call me names. I was treated like complete shit. I was cheated on by every girl I dated since up until now. Used by every girl I dated up until now. And there's only one girl who hasn't, and that's Pierce, and she's, yeah. But everything I'm gonna tell you guys today is something that you probably won't believe or anything like that. When I started school here, I thought everything was gonna be okay, but little did I know that it would have turned out bad. The first couple days were okay. I had friends. It was perfect. So I thought. I started going outside more often, and I met a couple other people that weren't exactly the right crowd. One of them always threatened and put a knife to my throat. Another one was always smoking. All of them were always smoking. And there was another guy who, after a while, ended up beating me up while he was drunk. He punched me so hard that I couldn't breathe properly for almost 2 weeks. And, you know, when stuff like that happens, you tend to doubt life a bit, and anything. I started getting bullied after a while as well. My life isn't as perfect as everybody thought it was, and I didn't think it was perfect to begin with. Nobody's life is completely perfect. I started to like my life when around September 10th of 2016. Now, you all probably know, well, it was September 9th, but you guys know why. I hope. If you don't, just put a comment down below and like for the reason, but yeah, my story isn't as bad as hers, but that's my story. I used to physically beat myself up every day. Pick every scab. It didn't matter what I was doing or where I was. Alright, so that's our stories, guys. Thanks for watching, I guess. Bye.